Hey everyone, today I'm talking about a couple interesting and cool Shadowverse Worlds Beyond news. So the first thing I want to talk about is a very old, I would say OG Shadowverse streamer, Gengar, is doing a tournament, a release tournament, on the 21st. So that'll be 4 days after release. And it's $1,000 prize pool, which is really really cool. I love getting like a competitive tournament so early on in the game because we're going to be able to just have a first chance to see where like the meta is developing and stuff. And I'm really excited. I'm just really excited. But unfortunately, it capped out, so I wasn't able to join because the sign up started like at night, and by the time I found out about this whole thing, it capped. So, but if we get this tweet to 1,000 likes, they're going to increase the cap. So that'd be pretty cool. But we'll see. Hopefully I can get in. I'd really love to do a tournament like on release like that. But, you know, we will see. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, to see like a big tournament right at the beginning of the game. It's going to be very similar to what I imagine the SVOs will be. And the SVOs, of course, are the official tournaments that, you know, Shadowverse does. So that's number one. Number two is in basically less than 12 hours, there's going to be a huge Shadowverse Worlds Beyond stream. And it's going to be at 3 a.m. my time. I am going to stay up for it. And I'm going to cover everything that we get tomorrow. My hope is that we get basically all of the cards revealed, since the game will be out basically in 5 days by then. I would love if we got all the cards revealed, and maybe some other. I think one of the biggest question marks that a lot of people have is how are we going to get leaders? Because of course in the old game you got leaders by pulling them from packs, and it was a very low chance, right? But they said something weird about like unlocking leaders. It wasn't you get them from packs. It was very worded weirdly. So we will see what happens. But we've got a lot of guests on, of course, all the normal faces, but a couple interesting ones. We have the voice actor for Albert. He's very iconic voice actor, and Albert we already know is in the game. But we also have Daria's voice actor. And if you don't know who Daria is, check out my video coming later today where I talk about Runecraft, my introduction to Runecraft like I've done the other classes. It's going to talk about... Daria's going to be all over that because she's one of the more famous Shadowverse cards for Rune. The really fun thing for me is the last guest, Rumoy. He was actually a old professional Shadowverse player. Very good, very, very well-known, very popular. And a year ago, he announced that he's working for Cygames now. So it's cool to see that he's actually the ambassador. And they did this with Shadowverse Evolved. They had this old Magic player that was on the team and stuff, and he's sort of like one of the ambassadors, but more like he is a designer for Shadowverse Evolved as well, I believe, or he works importantly on the team, So it's gonna be really cool to see. I like that they're taking a lot of these professional players and people that really know about the game from outside and helping develop this new game, which is hopefully gonna be good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a couple things. Oh, one last thing. So we said Daria. We're probably getting Daria, which was my guess already as well, because my initial guess was we were going to get, for each class, the legendaries were going to be one old Rage Bahamut character, so Daria fits that, and then one Shadowverse original character, and I thought they were going to do one guy and one girl. Now, Sword kind of flipped that logic because we didn't get any Shadowverse original character. Albert and Amelia are both, these are for legendaries, right? Are both from Rage Bahamut, but I had Daria and Kuan pretty locked for Runecraft just because they're very, very popular. Kuan, of course, is a Shadowverse original, and Daria is from Rage Bahamut. But another interesting thing for our Forest players, there was a really interesting tweet. So the past, like I'd say, week, they've been doing these artworks. They're like 6 days left, 5 days left, and they have art for cards that are in the game, right? So let's scroll through them. So of course we have Cocytus. This was 9 days. And then we have, what was it before? John, of course, which we already know. Of course, we don't really know exactly what she does, but we know she's in the game. And then this one's my favorite because Soji Hisakata is one of the greatest artists of all time. And then we got Ceres, right? We already know Ceres is in the game. And then we get the Roach, and it's like, wait a minute. He hasn't been revealed yet. We don't even know anything about it. So it makes sense, though. He's, like I said in the Forest video, probably the most iconic Forest card. If you guys are more interested in that, check out my Forest video, where I talk about sort of the eras of Roach, So, yeah, but that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are excited for the news we're getting later tonight. Definitely going to be all over that. Later today, we're going to be doing the Rune video. So if you are interested in Rune or just want to learn more about every class, tune into that. And then hopefully from then on, every day I will release the rest of the class videos, since we only have, 5 more basically, Rune and then the others. I'm going to try to record a lot of them right now, and then that was Windows. that was my Windows. Anyway, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.